everybody muted. Joanne, I'm going to mute you real quick and then we'll get started. Just cut down the background noise. Okay, so I'm super excited about tonight's first Dream Team leadership call. Hopefully you guys are too. I've really been thinking a lot about next year. Obviously, it's right around the corner, where we want to be as a team, where we want to be as individuals. Obviously, we all want to be in Maui next September, right, guys? So, and we can't get there on our own. We can't get there individually. It's not about, just the people that we sign up. It's about helping them and the people they sign up as well, right? We're all in this together. We're all working to build and grow our teams together. But I'm really excited just to focus on my leaders tonight. Hopefully you guys, if you haven't already done it, I really want to challenge you to soon write out personal goals for 2016. Where you guys want to be next year, this time next year. What are your goals for next year personally, and what are your goals for your team? What do you want your team to look like in 2016? How do you want to help them grow? Where do you guys want to be together? So that's a couple things just to challenge you guys to be thinking about the next few weeks as we finish 2015. I can't believe it. So I want to share with you guys tonight, I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I have learned the last 18 months. A lot has been trial and error. I have never led anything before I was a part of Plexus. So I had a lot of learning to do when I joined. A lot of this stuff, too, I learned at Super Saturday next year, which I can't wait. It's coming up here in about a month. Some of this stuff I learned at convention. Some I learned from different diamonds, watching videos that they've done, talking to them, things like that. So hopefully you guys will get a few takeaways from tonight. I know it kind of seems like common sense, but a huge factor in establishing and growing your team is establishing yourself as a leader. Your teams all need to see you as their leader for them to be inspired and for them to be motivated to grow. It's not going to come 7, 8 levels up. It's going to come from you. Okay. Hey, Christy, welcome. We just got started. Okay. I think everyone's muted. So one thing I want to talk about is how you lead your teams, what that looks like. It's best to develop the skills when your team is smaller early on than wait until you're senior ruby, emerald, sapphire. Because the longer you wait to become a leader in your team's eyes, the more you're going to lose people along the way, and the longer it's going to take to get there. We all know that the beginning can be the hardest for new people. They join. Everyone wants success right away. We all want that overnight success, but we all know that usually doesn't happen. It takes hard work, it takes commitment, and it takes thick skin, which is another thing I kind of had to develop when I joined Plexus. Because my dad always said I was a softie, so I've developed a lot thicker skin in the last 18 months. So if you're not leading your teams and encouraging your newbies from the beginning, they lose momentum really quickly, and it's a lot harder to draw them back in and get them excited again than it is just to keep that momentum going from day one. It's a lot harder to have to backtrack and start over again, which after I learned a lot of stuff at convention last year, and I felt like when I came home from convention, I had to do a lot of it, a lot of backtracking, a lot of rethinking how I was leading my team. So I wanted to do, again, this call to you guys tonight to help as your teams are, most of y'all are either right at goals or, closer to senior gold or whatever. So we want to make sure we're developing our leadership skills now. That way we're learning and growing with our teams. And I'm not just talking about, things you guys post on Facebook. I'm not even going to talk about Facebook posts tonight because you guys are all on this call because you're the leaders. You know how to post on Facebook. You know what to say and what not to say. So I'm not even going to go there. I'm really talking more about your team pages. You guys all have team pages. So I'm really going to focus on what to post on your team page, when to post, what to say, what your teams need, things like that. There's only, I think, 2 or 3 of you all on this call whose ambassadors never contact me. And that's actually a good thing. For you guys who are those people, that's actually a really good thing. Because that means that your teams see you as their leader and not me. They see me as an upline, but not as their leader. And that's what we all want. We all want the people in your downline to see you as your leader. And I'm not saying that I don't want anyone on your team to ever contact me, but they really should be coming to you first. And I'll say too, I've never had anyone in any of y'all's downline ever ask me a question that I've ever thought, it's a good thing they came to me because I know so-and-so wouldn't know this. Every question anyone on y'all's team have ever asked me, I've thought, they really could have gone to their upline because they know the answer, because I know you guys know the answers. But for some reason, there's a disconnect between what they think I know and what they think you know. And really, it just comes down to what you guys are posting on your team page. They might see me posting more training stuff or more product information, and so they see me more as an expert, and they're asking me questions that you guys know. And the reason they are is, again, because they think that I know more than you, which I don't. You guys all know this stuff just as much as I do. So it's really important that we figure out a way for you guys to communicate to your teams that you know all this stuff too. And again, it just comes down to what you're posting on your team pages. One thing I've tried to start doing, and sometimes it's just habit, when people ask me questions on my team page, if they're not a level 1, like if they're level 4 or 5, I've started trying to wait and let you guys, whoever their upline is, answer it first, or see if you guys are going to answer it first, just to, again, help in their mind. Then they think, oh, I could have asked so-and-so this question. They answered it anyway, just to give you guys a chance to step up. So when you see that, when you see people in your downline asking questions on team pages that aren't your team pages, try to answer it first. Even if someone else already answered it, try to answer it anyway, or give them more information, just so they, again, see you as helping and leading and not just leaving it up to me or Andrea or somebody else. That'll really help them out as well. And the people that are, in your downline, they joined under you for a reason. They joined under you because they thought, they know what they're talking about. I see them posting on their personal page. They know about all this product stuff. So you don't want them to join and then add them to the team page and then not help them, because then they're instantly deflated and they think, oh, well, now I've got to get to know this other person to lead me when I thought, my leader was going to do that. So what are some ways that you can establish yourself as a leader? First and foremost, be prominent in their news feeds. And I'm talking about that, I'm talking about like the team news feeds. Let them get to know you. And I know you guys are going to cringe, but the best way that they will get to know you are videos on your team page. Videos, videos, videos. I still to this day hate videos. I will never watch this video we're making now because I hate videos of myself. But it is so important for your team to get to know you. It's kind of like we always tell our teams, make a why video, don't just talk about your why, because we want people to see their emotions, their passion through a video, right? It's the same thing on your team page. They need to get to know you. They need to feel comfortable with you. They need to feel like they know you. They need to feel like they know your voice. They know your mannerisms. The more comfortable they are with you, the more they're going to come to you and see you as their leader. And again, the best way to do that is through videos. I know we all watch, videos that Tamara Holloway make, and Melissa Eichenhurst, and Sarah Marble. All these diamonds who are so successful, and we all watch the same videos. And the reason they're so successful is because they make great videos, and they're training their team through their videos. So it's, again, another way that you, and Benita, you're actually really good at this. She posts videos on her team page. I always like to watch her videos. So she's good at this. So really work on that. One thing I did last year that I want you guys to kind of be thinking of, I think it was last October. I think it was the month I went gold. and this scared me to death. Like, I told Eric I was scared about this, but it was something that I committed to my team that I was going to do. And I said every day this month, I'm going to post some kind of training video, whether it was a tip on posting on Facebook, whether it was marketing, whether it was a product information they might not know, whatever it was. I said I'm going to post one video every day. Sometimes they were 30 seconds. I don't think any were over 2 minutes. They were all super short about just one thing. The month before, so say if you guys do this in January, like, you can start now asking on your team page, what are some things you guys need help with? I'm going to be doing this in January. Let me know. And I'll say when I did this, I had like 4 comments. And I was like, oh, rats, I've got 30 days to fill up, and I have 4 suggestions. Now what am I going to do? So I was like, I was so scared. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I didn't know what I was going to do. But what I found was, as the months went on, I actually got to the end of the month and was like, oh, rats, there's still some more things I wanted to talk about. Because the more the month went on, I got feedback from people, things came up that I thought of that I wanted to share. Just evolving as a leader, I thought of more things to share. So it helped me a lot to come out of my comfort zone. It really helped me learn to focus on what my team needs and what they need of me and what I needed. They say the best way to learn is to teach, and I can 100% say I grew a lot that month just by helping my team. So that's something else that I think that you guys would be great to consider doing. You can, start asking on your team things they need. You can talk to them about making a live video. Whatever it is, you can start making a list. And, another thing, you don't have to make you don't have to every day make a video. I would maybe, like, on a Saturday or on a Friday, I would make, like, 5 or 6 videos. So I had a video each day for the week whenever I had time. So that way, if it was a day I knew it was going to be busy, I didn't, I have to stop and make a video today. I would just think ahead and make videos. So you could even start making them now if you wanted to. That way, whatever month you choose, if it's January, you'll already have some ready to go out of the gate. But that's just a really great way for your team to get to know you, to get to know what you know, and to really see you prominently as their leader. Again, I was terrified at first, hated it, still hate it, but it is important for your team. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get with it. Let's see. And it's also important for your levels 2 through 7, the ones that don't know you as much, who didn't join right under you. It's important for your level 1 because they're like, oh, wow, I joined under them, but they really are an awesome leader, and I really can learn a lot from them. But it's good for the ones that are lower down, too, to get to know you who might not know you already. And again, the more comfortable they are with you, the more they'll pay attention to all your posts. Just like on your personal page, if they make a live video, they'll see your passion, they'll pay attention to your Plexus posts. The more they know you on your personal page, the more they'll pay attention to the stuff you post on your team page. Okay, second thing is training your team. How to train your team. You don't want to be doing all the work. You don't want to be signing up all these people and then it's stopping there and then they not know, or maybe they sign people up but then they don't know how to train their people, so then it stops at your level 2s. One thing that we need to really focus on when people join is getting them the right information and make sure that they know that when people join what they need to be sending them. So things I always send my newbies. I always send the success plan, the product description, the ingredients list, the X Factor case study, and I think that there's something else I'm forgetting. I'll think of it in a minute. But I always send it to them. You can tag them if you want in them and say print these out. But make sure that if you do that, another huge part of training, you can't just say print this out and then leave it at that. You got to say print this out and then set up a time with them where you're going to call them on the phone if they live close, get together in person. I do all of mine, if it's not in person, I do them on Zoom calls. I think they're pretty personal. Sometimes I'll do them one-on-one. Sometimes if I've had like 3 new people, I'll see if they can all get on one call. And I go through it with them. Because if you have someone that just joins, again, they join because they are excited and they want you to lead them, and then you just say, here's all this stuff, print it out and read it and good luck with that, they're going to be really overwhelmed and they're going to be very discouraged right off the bat, because that's like 50, 60 pages worth of stuff. They're like, I have to learn this all by myself. Where do I start? So it's really important that you go through everything with them. You know, you can say, I usually just get them on the call and go through the success plan, and then I say, you know, there's the X Factor case study. It talks about the aloe that's in the X Factor and the study they did on that, so make sure you read that. And then I don't go through all the product descriptions. I just say, you know, let me know if you have any questions. With the success guide, 100% I go through, and then I explain what all the other documents are. And you need to train them how to do that for their newbies too, because again, you don't want to just be signing people and then teach them how to sign people, but then they don't know how to sign other people. I do a lot of three-way calls. I know, like Nicole, when she joined, we did a ton of calls with her people, but now she's comfortable enough that she's kind of taken over that role and done it, and then just trained her people to do the same. So we wanted to keep that going so our teams keep growing all the way down the line instead of just staying flat. And if you guys, for whatever reason, haven't done one of those with me and one of your newbies, let me know. Let your upline know if I'm not your direct upline, and we can get you on one of those calls to show you how we do it. That way you know going forward how to do it. Let's see. And yeah, we need to be doing this because we need to lead by example. We don't just need to be saying, make sure when newbies join, you train them, and then not be training ours, because they're not going to know what to do. They're saying, well, you didn't train me, so why am I supposed to train all these other people, or what do I do? So it's really important that we lead by example. And that's with everything. That's with posting your why video, showing them how to do a team page. You know, you need to be running your team page correctly so that when they have, you know, when they get to the point in their team that they're ready to start their team page, train them how to do their team page and what they need to be posting. You guys know, again, about Facebook posts, that you talk about that. Another thing is we always need to be learning and improving ourselves. I know, I think you guys are on the Dedicator to Diamond page. I talk a lot about personal development and personal growth, and it's totally true. The last couple of days in jury duty, I've done nothing but read more than I would want to in one sitting. But it's really important, because the better of a person you are, then the more people are going to be drawn to you. And the better you're going to be a leader, and the more people will take your advice, because they'll see you bettering yourself, not just health-wise, but intellectually and spiritually, and you know, in all areas of your life, and they'll want to emulate that. The better people we can be, and the better people see us trying to be, then the more inspirational we are, and the more they'll want to be like us. Now that kind of sounds cheesy, but it's true. I think about certain uplines that I know that are such good people, and I see them, you know, devoted to their church and to their family, and those are things that I want to aspire to be. So not only do I want to be like them in my business, but they're inspirations for every aspect of my life. And that's a good thing for you to pass on to your team as well. They definitely need to see your passion, and that's another good reason, you know, reason videos are good. For them to see your passion on your team pages. That you don't just say, grow your team, post on Facebook, but they see your passion behind it, and that's going to come through in videos just like as it does in videos on your personal page. If they see that you are complacent, and they see that you're not posting on your team page, that you're not doing, you know, fun contests, they don't have to be for huge prizes, they could be for, you know, Lexus pink nail polish, whatever, you know, whatever it is. If they don't see that you're passionate about leading your team and about helping them, then they're going to become more complacent, and it's going to be harder to catch up and get them excited again down the road. Training calls are great. The initial one is great. I do several, like I'll do, you know, Lindsay, we do her team. We'll do a team call with her team, or Joanna, a team call with her team, because each team needs different things. So it's good, you guys, you know, to know what your team needs, and to be maybe once a month to do a team call for your team to see what they need help with, what they're struggling with, what they need encouragement on, what they're doing right, and praise them in front of others. I really encourage you to take the reins with that as well. Try to post on your team pages if you can every day. I know there's some days this week I haven't been able to, but some days I'll post like 5 times a day, and some days I'll post once. I always try to post at least once a day on my team page. Again, I want to stay prominent in front of my team. I want to post things that are inspirational, things that are motivating. We need to keep it real, and tell them, I know it's a struggle right now. I know things in the back office stink, but it's getting better. Just keep them positive, post training tips. I listen to a ton of training calls a week. I try to post the ones that I think that I benefit from the most, the ones I think you guys will benefit from the most. And again, you guys' teams are all different. So whatever you think your team needs, post that for them. Praise their victories, their big victories, their little victories. Top PV for the month. Even if it's one person who had over, 100 PV. Post it. Like, praise them on the team page. Give them something to aspire to, something to be proud of. Post it on their personal page sometimes too. Every time someone ranks up, whether it's silver, senior gold, ruby, I don't care what rank up it is, I always post on the team page, and I always post on the personal page, because I want them to feel validated in front of their friends. Their friends see their Plexus posts all the time, and so if you're posting them about, praise on their personal page, their friends say, they're not just posting about Plexus, they're actually like doing really well with it, which is exciting. They don't know what silver means. They don't know, what all this stuff means. So like, oh, cool, they had a rank promotion. That's really awesome. I didn't know they were doing so well. There was one month, maybe September, August, I don't remember, where I went through, and I think all my level ones, hopefully I did this to all you guys. I think I tried to, but I went through, and on all your personal pages, I posted, you are awesome, and this is why you are awesome, on all your personal pages, because I want all your friends to know that you guys are killing it, that I'm proud of you, and do stuff like that for your team, too. Every once in a while, just make them feel really good on the team page, but also on their personal page. You can do interactive challenges, different contests. One that I did, I think Joanna, you won this one. It was a tic-tac-toe one, which I think gave people options, different ways to win it. So that's kind of a cool one to do, a little fun one. I think I'll do that again January or February. And you can make the prizes again whenever you want. Sometimes I do it when they have to watch training stuff. Sometimes it's just fun, like the tic-tac-toe thing. Another thing you can do for your training videos is commonly asked questions. I think I did several of those just to help people, just different questions that I've gotten that sometimes can be off the wall that I wasn't expecting. So I try to kind of keep a list of those. So I did training videos on how to answer these questions. So that's another thing you can add to the list of videos. One thing that I did a video on, people ask me all the time, do I need to take the products forever? So you can kind of explain, what to say when people ask questions like that, how to deal with negative comments, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's in a private message. So things like that are good to do, training on your team. With newbies and with everybody, you need to be realistic when they join. Don't promise them that everything's going to be an overnight success. Remind them how long they've been watching your posts. And say, you've been watching my posts for 18 months now, so don't expect everyone on your friends list to jump on board next week. Obviously, you want to be encouraging, but you don't want them to you don't want to say, oh, you're going to go senior gold in 3 weeks. So you just have to be realistic with people and be prepared to handle their disappointments and teach them how to handle disappointments as well. Like I said before, the best way to learn the business is to teach it. And you always need to be acting how you want your team to act, whether that's on your personal page, whether that's on your team page. Don't just tell them what you want them to do. You have to show them what you want them to do by you doing it yourself. Another thing, identify the leaders on your team and pour into them. One thing I spent way too much time on earlier this year was obsessing over my white lines. I would try to reach out to them. What can I send them in the mail just to get them excited again? focusing on the white lines. And while I was doing that, I had a lot of people who had been really motivated kind of back off a little bit and get discouraged because I wasn't training them like they needed to be trained because I was focusing too much on all the people that had quit. From time to time, someone who moves a white line will come back. It rarely happens. So don't obsess over them. Don't waste your time. Focus, identify who your leaders are and really focus on them and help motivate them and help train them moving forward. Really, and this is where you guys all are, really between silver and senior gold is the best time to establish yourself as your team leader because that's when your team is small enough that you can make a little mistake as a leader and it's not too big of a deal and you don't feel so overwhelmed that you have 300 people you have to lead all of a sudden. You can learn and grow with them, but it's a core group that you guys can all grow together, which I think is exciting to have. You guys are all people, some of you were there, in the beginning with me, and we're all growing our business together, which I think is awesome. So I think this is a great time for you guys to really establish that core group on your team and just, again, those leaders, and just all grow your businesses together. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, one thing about don't just tell them, show them, is going to events. Super Saturday's coming up. I think hopefully all you guys are excited and going somewhere in the country. We all want our teams to be there. I know a couple of you have previous engagements out of town where you absolutely can't make it, and I understand. But again, your team is not going to be motivated to go if they don't see that you're excited and motivated to go. You can't just tell your team you need to go to Super Saturday. You've got to be there, or they're not going to make the effort if they don't see you making the effort. Even if they thought, that'd be really great to go to, if their upline isn't going, then they're going to be really discouraged and might change their mind about going too. Convention's another big one. I cannot tell you how much convention changed how I do everything with my business. I learned so much. I grew so much at convention. And just being there with all the other ambassadors, being there with all the diamonds, Tarl, Alex, just all of them being there in the Plexus community was not only inspirational, but just the training that they provided was like none other that I've ever received with Plexus. So again, we want all of our teams, we want everyone in our downline to try to get there, and the most motivation they're going to get from going or to go is by their upline going and personally encouraging them to come with me, come with me. So really, January, I don't remember last year, Andrew, it was like mid-January, I think, when they sent out registration for that. I think it was sometime like mid-January. When they send out the email for registration, you register, and then you can reserve your hotel room. You pay the registration fee, but you don't have to pay the hotel room until June when we're there. So that gives you 6 months that you guys can save up. You can all, last year I had a lot of people who were in rooms together. That way you can split the cost 4 ways. It was like $25 a night per person. So there's lots of options. It's so important, though, that you show your team how important it is to get there and to get as many of your team there. And they're not going to go if they don't see their upline making an effort. Another thing I want, some of you guys have jobs outside of Plexus. Some of you don't. Some of you it's just Plexus, but you've got kids. So I know one habit that we can get into when people say, what do? You meet a stranger. Oh, what do? I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm a nanny. Whatever your job is, I'm a teacher. Don't lead with that because our goal is to be diamonds, right? Like that's our goal. So when you're out and about meeting new people and they say, what do you do for a living? This would be another good video to do for your team training thing. But when you're out and about and people say, what do? Always say, I hate to brag, but I'm a Plexus ambassador. That's what they taught us at Leaders Retreat. And if it sounds too easy to say, I hate the brag part, you can just say, hold on a second, Lizzie. Let me get your mic. Okay. You can just say, I'm a Plexus ambassador. And that opens the door for them to say, oh, what's Plexus? So lead with that, because that's the all of our goal are to be diamond ambassadors, right? So it doesn't matter if you're silver, if you're just a regular ambassador. Lead with I'm a Plexus ambassador. Secondly, you're a teacher. Secondly, you're a nanny. But lead with that. That should be, your career path that you're proud of. Another way, again, of promoting your business. If you say, oh, I'm a teacher, and then 20 minutes later, oh, by the way, have you ever heard of Plexus? I sell that too. They're not going to take you quite as seriously. Another thing I want you guys to do, thinking of 2016 and moving forward, get your calendar out and make deadlines for rank promotions. Say, I want to be senior gold by this point. I want to be ruby by this point. I want to be emerald by this point. Make them realistic. I mean, don't say I want to be senior ruby by January 1st if you're silver. So make them realistic, what you actually think that you can do. Make them, push yourselves a little bit. And then every day, look at your calendar and do something. Say, okay, I want to be senior gold by this date. So what do I have to do today to get me closer to there? And then the next day, what do I have to do today that's going to get me closer there than I was yesterday? And keep that calendar in front of you every day. So you're constantly thinking about where you want to be. Instead of just saying, oh, one day I'd like to be emerald, or one day I'd like to be ruby, maybe next year. Set a goal. Make a deadline. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but at least you knew that you tried your very best to get there. And then when that date comes, if you're not there yet, push it back a little bit and set the goal again, and then work every day to get there. So there's another thing to challenge you with moving forward. Let's see. Building a team of leaders. I mean, it does take a lot of work. I've learned, and this is one thing that I learned at convention, to really pour into my leaders, which is why I really wanted to do this call tonight. You guys are the people that I communicate with the most. You guys are the ones that really answer the most questions on the team pages, that are active the most. And that's awesome. I really want to focus on you guys, and I want you guys to really focus on your teams and really come up with a game plan the next few weeks, like I said before at the beginning, of what you want your team to look like next year, how you want to train them. Come up with some specific things that you are committed to do for your team in 2016 to not only get you to the rank you want to be, but I want all of you guys to be diamonds with me this time next year, all of you. So really focus on where you want your teams to be as well, and how you're going to help them get there, because their success goes hand in hand with your success. And so it's really important that you work together with your teams, especially your leaders, and really figure out what 2016 is going to look like. I think this is the perfect time, the next couple weeks, just to really focus on that. I know things are kind of winding down. People aren't, joining as much or ordering as much because, again, there's so busy the next few weeks, but it's really a good time for you guys in this downtime to focus on what you want to do for next year going forward. I don't know if any of you guys, I kind of put you on the spot, if you have anything that you've done on your team pages that have been really successful, maybe you got a lot of good feedback, maybe there's something you've done on your team page that wasn't as successful, just kind of think about it, and you guys can kind of share it in the group that I put this link in for us, if you want, in the next couple of days. You don't have to, but it's just something else to see if you guys had any thoughts or anything you wanted to share. You can share it in that little chat we have for all of us leaders. But hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you guys got a few takeaways. I really think 2016 is going to be awesome. Hopefully they'll have all the back office things worked out by then. Last year they had a huge promotion. I have to go back and see what it was, the end of December, beginning of January, but I remember my team blew up that time last year, so I'm hoping that, it all does this year, which is, again, a great time for all of us to really focus on what our teams need. That way we're ahead of the game, we're ready to start the year off running. So just think about the next few weeks. You guys know that I'm always here. Hopefully we'll have another one of these leaders calls soon and have even more leaders on the team. But I hope you guys had a good night, and hopefully this was helpful for you all. So I will see all your pretty faces later. Night, ladies.